Welcome, everyone. Welcome to you who are joining us on our live stream. Glad you're here with us today. Here in the Pacific Northwest, it is typically daylight savings time weather. And I don't know about you, but I didn't want to get up this morning. So thanks for being here. I imagine we'll see some people in about an hour. And you can just smile and be compassionate with them because they'll be embarrassed. Right now, our band showed up, and so yay! And why don't we stand and sing with them this morning?
There we are. Well, good morning, everyone. Let's sing into this day together. I'm not worried about tomorrow. Today I declare freedom from yesterday, mistakes of the past. Today all things are made brand new, and don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should. Sing all is well. All is well. All is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well. All is well. All is well and unfolding as it should. I can change my reality by changing my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness is yours and it's mine. I am love and so are you. And don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should. Sing it out. All is well. All is well. Even Spirit is directing me right now. All is well. All is well. All is well and unfolding as it should. All is well and unfolding as it should. We'll take a minute to greet some of those beautiful faces out there, and if you're out on social media, let us know where you're tuning in from.
Nice to see Cedar here. I think she grew some. She grew a little bit.
welcome here.
Okay, so I wanted, before we have our kids come up, to make an announcement about one of our wonderful teachers, Georgia, here. Georgia, you may or may not know, is a senior at Western, and she's in her last grind. And so she's going to be leaving us for the time because she has to focus on her studies because she's graduating. And so I just wanted you to know, and especially you parents, you may want to swing by after service and just give her a hug and thank her for her extraordinary presence here in our community. And so I would love to have the children come on up, and we're going to sing you out to Georgia and Papa Joe.
Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and a sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race. Have a great class.
Beautiful music. Can you hear me? Mic check. Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me now? Yes. Great. We checked that before. Andrea's already reminded you about the prayer vessel and silencing your phone, so I will remind you about the weekday 7 a.m. morning prayers. Please join us. We love doing that for you. Now, please join me in connection in this invocation. Universal consciousness permeates all that is and flows in, through, and around us, expressing itself as you and as me every day, today, and every day. I welcome this time of togetherness, of connection, of community, knowing that we are one in universal consciousness, which reveals to us who we truly are. I'm so grateful for this beloved community. Thank you, God, and I release these words onto the wings of grace, and so it is.
Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Let's sing that again. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace the center of me. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. My heart is open, I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. My heart is open, I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. My heart is open. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. My heart is open. I am awake. There is a knowing of love, love, love. Oh, let me feel inner peace from my center, from the center of me. With these eyes I will see, with this heart I will be, opening wide, turning inside. I am listening. With this love I will lead, with this grace I will breathe, deepening peace, fear I release. I am ready to receive. Spirit, know my name, call me home, and light these darkened days. Oh, Spirit, show your truth in all we do. Let love be our legacy. With these eyes I will see, with this heart I will be, opening wide, turning inside. I am listening. With this love I will lead, with this grace I will breathe, deepening peace, fear I release. I am ready to receive. our voices on that chorus. Spirit, know my name, call me home, light these darkened days. Holy Spirit, show your truth in all we do. Let love be our legacy. Let love be our legacy. Let love be our legacy. Let love be our legacy.
Thank you. Good morning again. So today's talk is based on the monthly theme, which is True North. And this particular talk is called Elemental True North. And so, you know, I write these topics like a month ahead. So I was like, what the heck did I mean? So I had to look up elemental. Oh, okay, yeah. So elemental, depending on the definition, but they're all kind of appropriate, means basic, primary, and natural. So our elemental true north that I'm going to speak to today has to do with our soul's compass and how we navigate our life from this place of basic goodness. And so I wanted to start with just like a refresher course, and if you're new with us, this will be like a little primer of what the Science of Mind philosophy teaches, because it's very relevant to our elemental true north. So the first of all, just in case you were raised like I was in a Christian tradition, or a Judeo-Christian tradition, possibly even, we actually don't believe in original sin in the Science of Mind. We believe in original goodness. And, you know, how could it be any other way if God created everything that is, then the nature of God itself is permeating reality and certainly includes every sacred human in their essence. Of course, we can think about how it's gone horribly wrong for some people, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So we also, in the philosophy, believe that whatever you want to call spirit, God, the one, the Tao, Buddha nature, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't really matter to us. And you may notice that I don't use the word God a lot because for some people in our community, that's a trigger word, unfortunately. But whatever you want to call that vast wisdom and intelligence that permeates reality, we actually believe that that beingness did not just sort of like create all of this and then go, okay, done. Just doesn't seem right. So what we think is that the nature of the infinite wisdom and love is permeating the reality all the time and hasn't left at all, is resident within each of us and within everything that is. And so this has implications for us because it means that we are not a finished product, but an evolving one. And that what we are evolving is the intelligence and wisdom and love that is permeating us in a very unique way. So each of us has a unique path of spiritual evolution that allows us to develop more and more fully into our basic goodness, to show it more. So this is radically different than the Christianity that I grew up in. I don't know about you. And yet, for me, Christianity was always a beautiful, incredible thing because for some reason, when I was a little child, I figured out that most of it was an interpretation. I was going to say a word that begins with C and ends with P, but an interpretation. And therefore, I could take what spoke to me and what I could understand at the level of my own evolving self and utilize it because it's such a gift, all of the spiritual traditions we believe, offer gifts and also interpretations that sometimes come from a place of someone who is still evolving and has written something down that they thought the person said because they didn't really understand, which in my case, I really believe that a lot of what was ascribed to Jesus was written down by people who didn't actually understand some of what he was saying. You know, it kind of went over their head, but they did their best to try to figure out what he meant and write it down. Now, this is all a preamble because I was telling Tabor that sometimes stories visit me. I'm a storyteller, if you're new, and sometimes stories want to be told, and sometimes, very rarely, I don't want to tell them. And this is that day. And so I tried like heck with my daylight saving times brain to figure out a way around it, but I couldn't. And it just kept saying, no, I'm supposed to be told, I'm supposed to be told. I'm like, all right, fine. And it comes from the Christian tradition, but it actually is a universal tale that shows up in different spiritual traditions in the language of that tradition. But I'm going to give you the Christian one because that's the one that I was raised to think about. So here it is, and this is from, if you're not a Bible person, the Christian Bible has 4 Gospels. You may have heard that. And the oldest of them, meaning the one closest to when Jesus lived, is Mark. And so this is from Mark. And it's a story. So it's called The Parable of the Sower. So again, Jesus began to teach by the lake. And the crowd that gathered around him was so large that he got into a boat and sat in it out on the lake while all the people went along the shore at the water's edge. Now that's an interesting little thing there. That probably did happen, because if you've ever been on the water, it amplifies sound. So it was a smart move on his part. Of course, he was really smart in so many ways. He taught them many things by parables, and in his teaching said, "Listen, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it all up. Some fell on rocky places where it didn't have much soil. It sprang up quickly, but the soil was shallow. So when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants, so that they did not bear well. And still other seed fell on good soil. It came up, grew, and produced a crop, some multiplying 30, some 60, and some 100 times." So parables are meant to be stories about us. And so it's a way of weaving something that was very common in the day that Jesus was speaking into a story that people could understand about themselves. So I'm going to remind you that in those days, they didn't plow the soil, which turns out a really good idea. And instead, what they did is, you've probably seen it, they had a sack, a large sack with grain in it, seeds in it, and they walked the field and spread the seed this way. And so, yes, some of it did fall away from the field onto the paths that crisscrossed the different plots, and the path was packed down, and so the seed couldn't really root. And yes, in every field, even the ones that are plowed, there are places that are rocky or have trees in them or things like that, and so when the seed hits that kind of ground, it doesn't have much of a chance to really dive deep into the soil. And yes, there are thorns in fields and in us. And so sometimes the seed falls into that, and it grows, but it can't produce what it could if it was free of all that, because the thorns are taking up too much space. And yes, in all of us there is a field. It is out beyond wrongdoing and right doing. And in that field, when the seed is planted, it produces enormously and well. Okay, I threw in roomy in there, but you get the idea. So, this tale wanted to be told today, I think, because I wanted to talk about our elemental true north, the place inside of us that knows its goodness and knows how to navigate us, literally. That there is a wisdom and intelligence in us that is individualized spirit that knows how to navigate us. We don't have to even do much except pay attention, which is hard. And so this true north of ours will lead us to the field if we're able to understand how to allow the wisdom in us to take us there. So there are 3 different ways that we navigate. But most of us don't understand. Even those of us who have been studying spiritual stuff for a while forget that these 3 ways can be utilized for our benefit or our detriment. They can take us to the field, or they can take us away. And so here are the 3 different navigation tools within us that are always operating. And when we operate with them, they become our compass. They become our way to find our way into our basic goodness and live there. So the first is the power of our thought. And, the science of mind famously teaches a lot about this, because we understand that what we think about, we bring about. That if we focus on something long enough, we actually begin to manifest outside of ourselves a reality that looks like that. And so if this is the detrimental use of our thought, if we focus on deeply fearful, negative things, we begin to see that and then ultimately experience that. Now, this is not some woo-woo teaching. I can tell you right now, you know all about this, because at one point in your life, someone said to you, don't think about the red monkey. And you immediately thought about the red monkey. Or, when I was on long road trips with my brother, we played punch bug, no take. Have you ever played that? And that was like, if you saw a Volkswagen Beetle, it was punch bug. And if you saw a Volkswagen van, this was, of course, in the 70s, then it was punch bug, no take. And so immediately I went from not caring what cars look like to very laser focused so that I could win. And sure enough, they appeared. Well, like that game, we are playing an unconscious game quite often, where we allow our thoughts to take us to places that really are not helpful. In fact, they're detrimental. And sometimes we even think those thoughts are good. If you were raised in a cynical family, then you think that negative thinking is good, because you're just, affirming reality. But is it? Or is it just one of many realities that exist all at the same time? So the power of our thought is incredibly important to pay attention to. And I actually learned this in a deeper way when I first began to meditate with Thich Nhat Hanh, because I meditated more than I ever had before when I was with him. And I would drop into meditation, which was a first. Most of the time I was not dropped in. I was somewhere else. But as I dropped in, I became aware that underneath the surface of this sort of calmness that I was practicing was this running dialogue. There were these voices that were talking to each other in me. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm here. Who are you? And we all have sort of this talk track. And so paying attention to it, that's Maggie. Hi, Maggie. Paying attention and helping ourselves shift our thoughts is incredibly beneficial. And when we begin to focus on the things that are lovely, that are beautiful, that are good, that we can do rather than what we can't do, what society is doing right rather than what it's doing wrong, et cetera, we move into a whole different feeling level of reality. So that's number one. That's your first navigation tool. The second navigation tool is fed by the first, and it is the power of your word. And the power of your word was excellently spoken about by Miguel Ruiz in the book, The Four Agreements. How many of you read that book? It's worth going through again. Because one of the things that sacred humans, at least my experience of sacred humans, that would be me, what I know about that is that I forget how powerful my words are. And I forget that it's incredibly important to use the power of my speech to be impeccable with my true self. And that doesn't in any way mean that I should, well, in fact, it could never mean that I would use the power of my word to harm, which unfortunately happens, to negate, to gossip about others, but perhaps more, something that's more applicable to you and me, because I'm assuming most of you have kind of moved out of that, is to not harm self, to not use the power of our word to shame or blame or negate our own being. And this is at every level, is to use the power of our word to support, uplift, and open ourselves. This is why it's so important, if you've just arrived here, you'll hear people say, this is a perfection-free zone. That came out of an understanding that too many of us were dissing ourselves because we had made a mistake. Yeah. Whenever you learn anything, you make mistakes. It's just the nature of how you learn. Maggie there is about to walk. Is she walking yet, Todd? Not yet. Okay. But when she starts to walk, she's going to fall down more than she is able to take steps right at first. Nobody that I know of thinks that's a mistake. But if we do that, it is. How about if we just are having a bad balance day and leave it at that? For us, the power of our word can be directed inwardly and outwardly. And in my own life, as I've begun to apply it more and more to myself, I've been able to apply it more and more to the outer world and use my word to benefit others, to benefit my children and my grandchildren, to benefit you all, to benefit the people listening to these stories, to benefit the people out in the community, to use the power of that. So I was at a totem pole blessing Friday night. I and many other spiritual leaders were invited to bless a totem pole that's on its way to support the earth. And I was the only one that showed up. And this was not my plan, because I had never done a totem pole blessing, and I thought the other people might know how. And so I spent the entire hour and a half before we actually got to the totem pole listening deeply to the elders so that I could understand this pole and the intention. And then we all gathered around the pole and put our hands on it. And I was given an eagle staff, scary, and did a prayer. And it was a blessing. I didn't know how to do that. Maybe better than you, because I've had to a couple times. But I stood there and I allowed the navigation of the power of my word to happen. And everyone was grateful that it was short, but also that I had been able to capture what the elders were seeking. So that was powerful for me, and it was powerful for my family who came. And the last navigation tool that you have is the power of your deeds. And this is a tricky one, I'll tell you that. There are many people who do good deeds, but the power of their word and the power of their thought is not in the deed. They're trying to extract something out of being perceived as doing a good deed. We all know people like this. We are not those people. Right? Right? Say right. Right. Instead, there's a way of giving into the world through our actions, our deeds, that is imbued with love. And so when we do a good deed, we imbue it with love and send it forth with no attachment to being perceived any particular way. Instead, the attachment is that the love that we've generated by our thought and our word is carried out and blesses, supports, uplifts, does good. So I've been donating since the Ukrainian war started to this organization called the World Central Kitchen. I'm a cook. And so providing food in areas where food shortages are happening is really a passion for me. And so when they moved into the cities that had been cut off by the railroads being bombed and the water systems being attacked, they brought water, they brought food, and I thought, well, what better way for my love of being nourished to be sent to people who need it? And so it was a good deed. I gave of my money so that those people could make sandwiches and get them to people that didn't have food. There's so many ways we do that. There's so many ways, and they're small and they're big, and most of the time they're invisible. But they weave a reality that is made up of our basic goodness, our elemental wisdom and love. They weave together around the globe and out beyond, creating a reality that is available, that we've actually participated in making. So thought, word, and deed are actually the ground on which we stand. They're our elemental true north. They are the powers that we've been vested with as sacred humans. And for many of us, we were not taught about how to use these tools for the benefit of our own being and all beings everywhere. But now you know. And so why did the sower and the seed parable want to be spoken? Because these three things, your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, are your seeds. And when we are thoughtful about how we cast them, they multiply and grow magnificently and become a reality that supports rather than detracts. So we have that opportunity, and it's just a matter, I'll take out the word just. I'm learning to not say that. It's an opportunity for all of us to do a quick assessment. How are you doing with your thoughts, your words, and your deeds? And as hard as we try, there's always room for evolution. That's how we're made. Spirit is evolving us. So how you have been is being asked to be even better, greater, more wonderful. And so I'll do a prayer for that and we'll close today. I am grateful. I am grateful to understand and know that within me and within everyone listening, there is a power and a wisdom and a love that has no limit. And it has gifted itself and all that it is to me and to everyone and through all reality. It is present. Factory equipment. And within every sacred human, and therefore within me, this wisdom and love are constantly available for guidance. And so I utilize that indwelling presence of wisdom and love to inform my thoughts. And when I see my thoughts going in a way that is not filled with wisdom and love, I pull them back. I recenter. The wisdom and love is present in my word, and I don't take that for granted. I begin to pay more and more attention to words that uplift, that heal, that support, that are beneficial to my body, to my mind, to my spirit, and to everyone else's. And the wisdom and love that is resident flows through my deeds, and I open myself to making those deeds imbued with this love, so that my very presence in the world is a place of healing, a bridge across a troubled water, a lamp to those in darkness. And I'm grateful knowing that this presence knows exactly how to do that by means of me. And this is true for everyone listening. So if you would like this prayer to be activated in you, simply in your mind say yes, and then join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. That wasn't such a bad story. We're going to have an offertory, and our wonderful ushers, Shelley and Steve, are coming on up. And we are grateful for any donation that you make to the center. We say it every week, but actually, I mean it. And I hope you feel that. Thank you for your financial gifts, as well as the gift of your presence.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Well, we have some announcements. What a surprise. But there's some wonderful announcements. Zena is teaching a class that starts on the 21st, which is a Tuesday, and it's a very beautiful class that teaches the ancient wisdom and the new thought that has come out of it, and our form of affirmative prayer. And it is a very powerful class, so you're invited to join her. Registration has opened for that, and it is a hybrid class, meaning she'll be here in person in the classroom and also available in the Zoom classroom as well. So registration happens online at our website, and we'd love you to be a part of that class. If you are interested in taking the other sequences of the Inward Journey class, which is an upper division class, you have to have 2 accredited classes in the Science Mind teaching. This is one of them. So if you've already got one and you take this one, you will be prepared for the next offering of the Inward Journey class, which starts May 18th. So just a side note, kind of nice. Then we have Sacred Circles, and the in-person circles are now full, and we're having a Zoom circle of 10 people, and we have just a few spots left for that. And if you would like to sign up for that, it meets on Fridays at 6 o'clock. Francine, I'm looking at Francine because Francine, we have 4 left. Fourth Friday, Francine and Andrea Wood are doing that class, leading that, and we'd love you to be a part of it. It is a year-long, once a month, spiritual discussion with a small group of people, and you get to know these people and love these people and have some wonderful discussions. So if you're interested, sign up. They start soon. And then the registration for a brand new offering that has never been offered here at the center is now up on our website. We're calling, the shorthand for this retreat is the Spring Retreat, because it's happening Easter weekend, so April 7th and 8th. And it's being led by Zena and me, so it's really super fun for me. As you know, I love to collaborate, and I have for many years with the Women's Retreat with my dear friend Sue. And so Zena and I, another dear friend, are doing Awakening the Soul, and it's very experiential. So it's an opportunity to drop into the springtime energy of renewal and rejuvenation, and also a time to kind of gather and contemplate. So there's all kinds of stuff that we'll be doing. We have wonderful food. We have incredible supportive practices that will hold you, as well as some teaching and some small group discussion. So if you'd like to come, it is open to men and women and anyone, and we would love you to be a part of this brand new offering. The tuition is $149, which includes 2 meals, and we would love you to be a part of it since it's a new thing. So sign up. And there's only room for 60. We're having it here at the center, so you get to go home to your own bed on Friday night and sleep well, I hope. And let's see. Well, the meditation is going strong here. If you haven't joined them yet, at 10 a.m. in the morning in the classroom, our practitioner staff is leading a wonderful 15 to 20-minute meditation, and you are invited to come and be a part of it. There is just one thing you need to know, and that is that they close the doors at 10, and then nobody can come in. So be sure and come early. And those of you who came today, I'm so impressed, because it was daylight savings times, and I don't know if I would have. Today is also very unique because typically the men's group meets on the second Sunday of the month, and they're going to be in the classroom, but the women's group usually meets on the third Sunday, but because we're having an annual general meeting, the women's group is meeting today, and we'll be here in the sanctuary, and it's going to be wonderful for both groups, and I hope you can stay for that and be a part of it. Both of them start at noon and go for an hour and a half. Let's see, and then this. Now, this may sound hugely boring, and I suppose it could be for some of you, but this is my life work we're talking about. It's not boring to me. And I try to make it really interesting because I do a lot of meetings, and I know the ones I like, and I know the ones I don't. So I try to make this as lively and short as possible, just like my prayers. But this is for members of our center. This is a request that if you are a member, having taken the membership class and joined, I would really love it, live stream people as well as in person, if you could be present for this. It is the one time of the year we vote, and we have to have a quorum, which is only 20%, but the more members, the better. However, I've always thought it was stupid to just have members come to a community meeting, so everyone's invited. We will have some snacks, and let me tell you what they are, because I sort of angsted about this. But I landed on the easy option and also one that's beneficial. As you probably know, we have Girl Scouts here that are our children. So we bought a bunch of Girl Scout cookies. So we're having coffee and Girl Scout cookies. And we have both gluten-free and regular, but if you're a person that doesn't eat cookies, you might want to bring something, just so you know. But the coffee will be good coffee. So there you have it. Okay, and then, I don't know if you know, we have a ritual team. It's a really cool group of people who've done ritual for years in their own lives, and they get together and plan different things. And this is a picture of the Fairhaven Labyrinth. And we're going to be celebrating the spring equinox when the light and the dark are equal at the Labyrinth, and you're invited to come. The ritual team really loves it when other people come. And so they're full-on ritual. So you're going to have some chanting, you're going to have a prayer, you're going to walk a labyrinth, you're going to light candles, you're going to set an intention. It's going to be great, as long as you like ritual. I'm looking at Clara, who doesn't. We probably won't see her. It starts at 6 on the 20th, which is a Monday night, goes for about an hour, and it's happening. Unless it's like thunder and lightning, it's happening even in the rain. So we hope you'll come and celebrate. And then I went to this last time, and Tabor actually helped bring Yam and Jesse here. And this is so fun. And I've been singing the songs since then. And so what is this? I know that some of you look at 5:30 to 7:30 on a Sunday night and you go, I can't sing for 2 hours. And I said the same thing to myself. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be exhausted. But I wasn't. I was lifted. And it's not all singing, but it is all fascinating. And the theory or the understanding behind this is that actually songs are weaving the world. And they're present all the time. And that you and I are perfectly capable of catching a song. It wants to get caught, and it'll start singing itself in us. And they're simple, they're not like elaborate songs typically. And so many of the songs that are being brought to this song circle are songs that have been caught by different people. And then they teach the songs to us, and we sing them for a while. And we make all kinds of different sounds with those songs. We can harmonize. Joe likes to be a beatbox. No surprise, the drummer. So you're invited to come. We support them by giving a donation between $11 and $33, but no one's turned away if you don't have money. Just come and catch a song or two. And that's happening on the fourth Sunday night. And then last week, I let you know that the Earth Stewards are open to informing any of you who would like to receive these emails about legislation that is supportive of the Earth. And our legislative session in Washington is short, and so there's only a brief time when these bills kind of travel through, and so it's important for us to let our legislators know yes or no on some of these really important, vital issues around the environment. And so if you'd like to receive emails about those things, you can sign up at the Ask Me desk, and you'll receive an email from the Earth Steward Committee when we have an alert about a bill that's about to pass into a voting session. So help yourself to that. It's not for everyone, but we wanted you to know about it. And that's it. Thank goodness, huh? Right now, why don't we stand and we'll sing our way into men's group, women's group, or the day.
Let's sing out. Here we go. Blessed, I am blessed every day of my life. I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am free, I am free, oh I'm free, I am free, oh yes we're free, every day of my life, I am free, 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 free. When I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest, I am free, I am free, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed, every day of my life, I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning or I lay my head to rest, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed. One more time. I am blessed, I am blessed. You'll have a wonderful day and we'll see you again soon.